So your deductible in an insurance claim, what is that? Who's it get paid to? How much is it? All things you want to know, obviously, before you file a claim. So before you ever file an insurance claim, you want to go look at your policy or call your insurance agent, and you want to know exactly what your deductible is. It's typically going to be a percentage of the appraisal value of your home that they have written in your policy. So we're talking wind and hail specifically. Hurricanes is usually a higher deductible. That'll be a separate one. But for wind and hail, it's usually going to be like 1% or 2%, let's say. Hopefully not 3% or 4%. We do see those some these times, in these times, insurance companies are kind of raising those up, but it's going to be right there in your policy. You know what that is before you ever file a claim, because if you're approved for a new roof, let's say, that's going to be the part you're liable for, the deductible.
Even if you're not ready to file a claim on your roof, a storm hasn't hit you yet, with this information, if you weren't aware of this before, please call your agent and let them know, hey, I want to know why I'm getting such a low rate. How are you able to offer me this? Because a lot of times their actual policy either doesn't cover the complete replacement of the roof. It's called something called an actual cash value, which we'll get into a little bit. You also might have a very high deductible because you have such a lower rate. So be sure to have that conversation with your agent, get a little more knowledgeable about your policy. I know it's very tempting to get a lower policy or pay $10 to $15 less a month. I know I've got insurance, I'd like to pay a little less every month too, but just make sure you know why. With that in mind, you're gonna be a little more conscious of when somebody knocks on your door and says, hey, would you like a free roof inspection? A storm came through, they come down, they tell you you have damage, and they also offer to pay your deductible. This is a big, big, big no-no. This is against the law for you as a homeowner to not pay your deductible in full. That is the only part of your roof claim that you have to pay. Unfortunately, it happens time and time and time again, especially with companies that kind of chase storms, are from out of town.
How they do that is they'll have a contract for you and a contract for the insurance company. Then it's like wire fraud and all kinds of other things. So that's usually your, overnight storm chaser, fly-by-night type roofer, your roofing salesperson who gets off the couch and subs it out to another contractor, and he's after your insurance check, right? Make you sign a contingency form that's actually illegal. It's kind of the standard roofing industry storm chaser model.
You just go with your gut and know that that's not the right way to do it. That's not how insurance companies works, and that's not how you should either. You just shouldn't get yourself into that type of trouble, and it's very avoidable.
Your deductible, that's what's required to be paid. We get homeowners all the time in a neighborhood. They'll say, hey, my 3 neighbors, they told me they didn't pay their deductible at all. Sounds like a really enticing, good option, and we have to really explain to them, well, look, your neighbor didn't know this, I'm sure, but the contractor involved them in a crime, misdemeanor, Class B misdemeanor. It's 180 days in jail. It's insurance fraud. You don't want to be doing that.
A great way to deflect from that is if a contractor offers financing options, because not everybody can afford their deductible. They're not really looking to replace their roof. Typically, a storm comes and we don't know. It's just gonna happen, it's gonna create damage, and then now you're in this situation. So with that, if you offer financing, you're gonna have those options to then be able to pay it off a little bit longer and still do it by the book and legally.
Your insurance company is a for-profit company. So they're producing the estimate in Xactimate, which is a fair market value software that all of them use. Your insurance company, I promise you, is not going to give you more than what your roof actually costs. There's not going to give away extra money into the claim. They're not going to give you a roof with all the bells and whistles. They're not going to give you an upgraded roof. They're going to pay for exactly what you have on your roof right now. So, kind of thinking through that, any contractor that will come to your home and can offer to undercut an insurance estimate, you have to wonder how they're able to do that. They're making up that margin some other way, all right? So it could be they don't have insurance. They're subbing it out to someone else who doesn't have insurance. They're subbing it out to unqualified people that they just met and haven't even vetted. Maybe they're not disposing of your material properly. Maybe they're using leftover material from different jobs and you're not actually going to get your warranty. There's all kinds of ways that a contracting company can cut corners in order to save on the margin and then pass on those savings to you and you get a cheaper deal. What we learn most of the time is, you save $1,000 now, you end up paying $3,000, $4,000 extra later on down the road because things weren't done right. So, kind of to summarize, look for, if somebody knocks on your door, says, sign this contingency, don't do that, don't ever do that. Says, we'll waive a portion of your deductible, sounds enticing, that's a red flag. Slam the door, no thank you. Call a reputable local contractor who handles insurance claims. If you're in the Houston area, make sure that they're a member of Roofing Contractors Association of Texas, Houston Area Roofing Contractors Association. Those organizations, if you're caught waiving or paying any portion of a deductible, you are kicked out of those organizations. So they're very strict about that because, not only do they not want their contractors breaking the law, they don't want them installing sub-quality work that's not going to last. It's going to give the industry a bad name, and so that's what we're trying to educate, keep people from doing, keep you from going through that pain. So I hope this is really informative. Stay tuned for a next episode, and we'll see you then.
See you later.